Hi guys, welcome to Technology Backers. I'm Siddharth Dhanetwal. Today we'll see about AWS EC2 surveys, and this is a hands-on lab. In this lab we will cover about how to create an EC2 instance, how to SSH into the EC2 instance, and how we can use EC2 instance as a web server using a small web page. Okay, so let's start. So what is AWS EC2? Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud provides a scalable computing capacity in the Amazon Web Services cloud. Using Amazon EC2 eliminates your need to invest in hardware upfront, so you can develop and deploy applications faster. You can use Amazon EC2 to launch as many or as few virtual servers as you need, configure security and networking, and manage storage. Amazon EC2 enables you to scale up or down to handle changes in requirement or spikes in popularity, reducing your need to forecast traffic. This we can do also using scaling groups. So these are the classes of EC2 instances. So their first is on-demand instance. So on-demand instances are like when you need a EC2 instance, then just up it in the management console or using some API. Reserved instance are like you reserve an instance for 1 year, so you will be charged little less because you are saying for next 1 year, please reserve this instance for me. Those are reserved instance, and spot instances are like uh, you make a price. So if the price of the EC2 instance go below this particular price, then up this type of instance. These basically spot instances are used by some pharma companies where high computational needs are there, maybe M2 large instances. Okay, so there are multi-purpose instance types like uh, general purpose, where like T2 micro, uh, T2 medium, those kind of general purpose instances. Then there are compute optimized, where you need a high CPU performance. Then there is a memory optimized, where you need a lot of memory for calculations and all. Then there is accelerated computing where you need a high GPU performance. Then there is a storage computing where you need the calculations on big data and Hive. So these are the instance types. So you can more check it on AWS documents. So there is a Amazon Machine Image Virtualization type. So there is basically two virtualization type, para virtual and hardware virtual machine. These kind of questions comes generally in AWS certified developer and AWS certified associate certified exam. So eh, when you uh, start a EC2 instance, or when you create an EC2 instance, you have to attach some kind of a storage. So storage can be of two types, either elastic block storage, that is EBS, or instance store. So EBS is persistent in its nature. So EBS is elastic block storage service of AWS, which allows you to create storage volumes and can be attached to EC2 instance. EBS as persistent storage means if you detach EBS volume from EC2, then also data will be persisted, whereas as in instance store, data will be lost. You can use EBS volumes to store files or run a database, or any other way you can use a block device. So you can refer this link for more information on EBS. So there are five type of EBS: general purpose, provisioned IOPS. So general purpose and provisioned IOPS are type of SSD volume types. And the GP2, that is general purpose, is used where IOPS is required less than 10,000, and provisioned IOPS is used where IOPS is required more than 10,000. And there another three is throughput optimized, cold, and magnetic. These three are HDD volume types. Throughput optimized is used where frequently accessed data is required, and magnetic is used where infrequently accessed data is required. So let's go to the console and see in and do a hands-on. Okay, so we are on AWS console. Okay, now here I'll search EC2. Here it is. So the end goal of this lab is to make a to launch a EC2 instance and make it as a web server, and this is how we want a server to fulfill our request like hello tech, welcome to technology, because this is a HTML page, but it is on a public subnet, anyone public IP address, and anyone can see this web page right now. So this is the end goal to, so you can make your own websites also, or your MVC application, anything where you need a public facing server. So we'll be making a public facing server here. Okay, so this is the screen for EC2. So one running instance is there, what I shown you here. I'll delete this instance, just terminate. Okay, so let's create a new instance here. So as you notice, we are in Northern Virginia. So this is the first step. Choose an Amazon machine image. So there are multiple images provided by Amazon, like Windows, Linux, SUSE, Linux. So you can see up here, and each has some different functionalities, and let's say we choose Amazon Linux AMI 2017, this one. So this is has a SSD volume type and a virtualization type of HVM, hardware virtualization machine. So the Amazon Linux AMI is EBS backed, so this has a EBS storage, AWS supported image. The default image includes AWS command line tools, Python, Ruby, Perl, and Java. So these tools will come by default when you start uh, this image. So this, as you can see, this is a free tier eligible. I'll suggest choose this one, otherwise you'll go out of your free zone. Okay. Now here you have to choose an instance type. As we discussed in the theory part, that there is a different family like general purpose, then there is compute optimized, GPU, and FPGA memory optimized. So there are many type of instances, and according to your need, please choose an instance. But for this particular lab purpose, we'll choose this free one, that is free tile eligible T2 micro. It has one CPU, 1 GB of memory, EBS backed instance. It has low to moderate network performance. Okay, now we'll go to third part, that is configure instance details. So we want one instance, we can make multiple instance also for auto scaling thing. But for this practical, you'll be needing only one instance. So we want right now, not a spot instance. So this is the network. So this is the VPC, uh, the by default VPC created for Northern Virginia. We can create a new VPC also, but that is not part of this course. Then subnet. So which subnet you want to put this particular instance. So I want to put in US East 1A. So you can create your own subnet as well. So this is auto assign public IP. So this means, do you want a public IP to be assigned? So it says use subnet setting. So according to the subnet setting, it will be provided a public IP, or you can say enable. But yeah, according to this subnet setting, a public IP will be assigned. So through this public IP, we will be accessing this instance. So do you want to provide any IAM role? As I mentioned in my one of previous tutorial about IAM role. So currently we don't want any role. Otherwise, like if you want to read some S3 bucket, So you can provide a role over here like read all S3 buckets. So after that role, this through this EC2 instance, you can read S3 buckets. But for now, none. Shutdown behavior is stop, leaving all these things as it is. Then there is a advanced detail thing. So here user data comes. So like like shell script, you can write the script out here, and whatever you write it out after this instance is launched, the this particular user data will be executed. Whatever like you want some updates to be applied or whatever you want like a script, just put it here. And yeah, this question get asked multiple times in certifications. So you can type the script over here and that will be run after the launch. Moving to add storage. So this is the add storage thing. So as I told you, this is a EBS backed instance. So this is the root volume type. Size is 8 GB and this is general purpose, and delete on termination is checked. So when this instance is terminated, this volume will get automatically be deleted, and this is not encrypted. This is also one of the question that whether the root is encrypted or not. Root volume is not encrypted, but yeah, additional volume type can be encrypted. Suppose whatever. So these are the volume types which I was discussing, which I was showing in the theory part. So according to your need, just select the volume type. For now, I'll leave this one. And yeah, you can select the additional volume as encrypted, and you can select delete on termination. But for this course, I'm removing this thing. Add tags. So what are tags? Tags are used for the cost purposes to track which particular resource is causing you the cost. So let's say I put as name as the key and the value is my technology packer EC2 instance. Okay, so this is the name I gave to this instance. Now next is configure security group. So I'll create a new security group. So security group means who are allowed to enter into this particular instance. What are the traffics are included. So I'll give a security group name. Okay. So one thing we want is to SSH into this EC2 instance. I will say anywhere for now. And we also want the HTTP traffic so that anyone can access uh, into our website. Anyone can see our website or web page. I'll assign HTTPS also. So automatically port range will come here and I'll say anywhere. Okay. It will give you a little warning. Ignore it for now. So it says anyone rules with source 0.0.0.0/0 allow all IP addresses to access your instance. We recommend setting security rule to allow access from known IP address only. But for this demo purpose, I am creating for all for all. Okay, so this is the same security message. Okay, so now you can review your instance configuration. Now it's fine. I'll click launch. Now this is the key pair. So a key pair consists of a public key that AWS stores and a private key that you store together. They allow you to connect to your instance securely. For Windows AMI, the private key is required to obtain the password used to log into your instance. For Linux AMI, the private key file allows you to securely SSH into your instance. So I'll create a new key pair. I'll give this key pair name as EC2 DB key pair and download this key pair, and please securely keep this key pairs. This is a PEM file, and I'll launch this instance. Okay, so click on view instances. Now our instance is getting launched. So here, this is the tag. So under name, our tag is my TB EC2 instance is there, and its instance state is pending, and it will take some time to start this off. A public IP has been assigned, as you can see here. Okay, so now let's see how we can. So now we have a PEM file here, that is key pair file. So to SSH into the into EC2 instance, we have to convert this PEM file into PPK file, that is private key file. For this, we'll be using tools like Putty. So you can go to this website and download Putty. You have to download two tools. That one is putty.exe. Putty is for connecting to EC2 instance, and there is one PuttyGen. PuttyGen is used to uh, create PPK file out of PEM file. Okay, so here we are. So open the puttygen.exe, click on load, click on all files. So now your myec2 tbkey pair.pem file is here. Click on open, click OK, and click on save private. No, I don't want a passphrase. Yes, I will keep the same name. Okay, so here is our new ppk key. Now we'll go to putty, type ec2 hyphen user at the date and the IP address of the instance. Here is the IP address. Okay, now go to SSH, click on auth, click on browse button. Here is our ppk file. Click on open, click open. So now it will show you a message. Click yes. So now we have successfully entered into the SSH into our EC2 instance. We'll go as a super user, sudo su. Okay, now we are in the EC2 instance. So we'll apply some patches, yum update. Now we will now we'll install a Apache HTTP server. Yum install httpd and minus y hyphen y stands for yes. Okay, now here we are. Now we go to cd var dev html directory. And now we will create a file that is index.html. Just we are using a nano editor. Click enter. Just type few lines like HTML h1 welcome to technology backers. Close this heading, close this HTML tag, press Ctrl X, click yes, enter. So now index.html file has been created. Okay, now we have to start this HTTPD service. Type service HTTPD start. HTTPD service has been started. Okay, now go back to the console. Copy this public IPv4 address. Open a new tab. Put it here. Okay, here we are. Welcome to Technology Packer. So now our EC2 instance is acting as a web server. We have installed Apache HTTP server over there, and in var www.html directory we put it our index.html file, and that is being served as a request. So you can modify this IP address through route 53 service, and you have to buy a domain name, and through route 53 or any domain name service, the address will be converted to this particular address, and your request will be successfully be submitted. So welcome. So this message has been printed. Now we'll see what are the things over here. So now this instance is up. This particular description tab will give you the basic details about your description, about your instance, sorry. Your instance status is running, instance type is T2 micro, in availability zone US East 1A. Its public IP address and its private IP also, a VPC ID and subnet ID, and many more things are there. Another tab is status checks. One is monitoring. So here you will see all the monitoring things, all the like CPU utilization, disk read, disk writes, network out, network in, kind of it's kind of a dashboard where you see the metrics. So these are the tags which we configured, name and the value. Okay guys, so this is how we did a hands-on lab, created a EC2 instance, connected it with from PuTTY, and then installed HTTPD server, and then we accessed it from a web from a browser. Okay, so let's go back to the summary points. So there are mainly three classes of instances: reserved, on-demand, and spot instances. There are two storage types for EC2. One is EBS backed and one is instance store. You can mount one EBS volume to one instance only. So this is very important point. You can only mount one EBS volume to one EC2 instance. You cannot mount one EBS volume to two EC2 instance. That we can't do. That we can do with instance store. Keep your instance secure using security groups like we did. We allowed SSH and HTTP and HTTPS traffic from all over the world. Enable auto assign public IP option to assign a public IP to your instance, otherwise you'll not be able to access your instance from browser. Assign role to your EC2 as per your need. By default, root EBS volumes of EBS backed instance will get deleted on termination of instance. EBS root volumes can't be encrypted, but additional EBS volumes can be encrypted. So these points can be asked, or these questions can be asked in AWS Certified Developer or AWS Solution Architect exam. You can refer this course, this video, this hands-on lab for before going to exam. And if you want to read about or do a hands-on lab on IAM, you can refer AWS series on this channel only. My last course, last lab was on IAM only, Identity and Access Management from AWS. Okay, thanks guys for watching this. Hope you like this video. Please like and share this video. Thank you.